exactly. And I'm getting a little bit of movement in the upper body. That's good. But let's just start with some head nods. So look down and look up. And to anybody who's watching this recording later, welcome. Hope your day's been good. We'll do one more. Kind of get any kinks out, and we'll look left, look right. Try to look over that shoulder. It's okay to kind of turn your torso a little bit. Feel that stretch through your back. One more each side. Good, and let's just do a few shoulder rolls. We'll go to the back 5 times. There's 4, and then we'll come forward 5 times. And then we'll sit tall in our chair, feet are out, our heels are underneath our knees. And then we're just going to keep our left hand on our left leg. We're just going to reach over to the side. Balance on your sit bones. And then we'll switch sides. Nice, easy side stretch. Go as far as you feel is comfortable. And then we're going to put both hands on our left leg. And we're going to turn to the left and look behind us. A little bit more of a rotation than the other when we were looking over our shoulder. Give me a big exhale and see if you can turn in just a little bit more to that stretch. And then let's do it on the other side. Both hands be on that, work on that leg, and we're just turn, torso twist. Give me an exhale. Try to just sink into that twist a little more. Good. All right, we're going to take the right leg. We're going to cross the right ankle over our left knee. And so I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me. So we want that heel right underneath the knee. We're sitting up nice and tall. And then just getting a nice stretch through the hip. Good. You can just, if you want to, you can put a little pressure on your knee if you need to. Sometimes just sitting this way is plenty to get that stretch activated. And then switch sides. Sitting up just really straight and tall. Increasing the distance between your ears and your shoulders. Trying to get that head up nice and tall. Good. And so we're going to come up to a standing position, and we're going to go with some 30-second intervals, and then with our 15-second break, we can either just stay standing and really have a break, or just march through and have a what we call an active rest. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start with 5 seconds. We're going to do some marching. And then we're going to, I want you to squeeze your fists and pump your arms. So we're just marching with intention, is what I like to call it. And so our arms are actively engaged. And when we squeeze our fists, we activate more muscle fibers in our arms. So we might as well get a little extra bang for our buck. And then you can just decide how high you want to lift your legs, whatever's comfortable, and your speed. Totally up to you. Good. So if you want to be active during this rest period, just a step together, whatever you want to do. You can do some small marches. Our next exercise is going to be sumo squats. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the position. So our stance is wide, wider than our hips, and our feet are slightly turned out, about 45 degrees. And your knees are going to go right over in the same direction as your toes. Not over your toes, but in the same direction. Okay, so it's going to go down and up, and we're using our inner thigh muscles. So as we stand, we definitely want to think about those muscles lifting us, and go ahead and just tighten those quad muscles and the inner thighs as you lift. 2 more seconds. Good. So we're just march this out, and then our next exercise, we're going to do just a step together. So we're going to step to the right, bring our left foot in, and do the other on the other side. So we're going to step out and in, and we can use our arms If you're not quite ready for the arms, because the arms are gonna make our heart work a little bit harder, you can absolutely be here. You can have beautiful flowy arms like Janice. Janice looks like a dancer. Good. 5 more seconds. Good, all right. And then we're getting, our next one is, next exercise is calf raises. So you can be near your chair if you like, or you can just work on your balance. All right, so my feet are forward about hip width apart. I'm just gonna lift up onto the balls of my feet and lower slowly down. So from the side, yeah. And if your feet want to turn out a little bit, that's totally fine with your calf raises. And you can challenge yourself a little bit if you are pulling up to let go and do a couple reps. 5 more seconds. Excellent. All right. So march that out, and then we're next exercise will be a wall push-ups if you have some wall space available to you. So just lean against the wall. We're going to stay in that nice plank position. You're going to lower your body, all of it. So we don't want to just lower our torso. We want to bring our whole body into the wall. Perfect. That's good, Janice. And if you don't have a wall close by or a big space where you can do your wall push-up, you're also welcome to use a desk or a counter. Just make sure to use a desk that is against a wall. Okay, so next we're going to do, we're going to take our hands overhead and we're going to do a pull down. And you're welcome to keep your feet in motion for this, or you don't need to multitask, and you can just reach up and we're going to pull slowly down to the side. So again, we're imagining that we're holding on to a big rubber band and we're going to pull it down. And reach and pull. Good. Reach and pull. Perfect. We have 5 more seconds and we're going to start this whole round over again. Good, that's your last rep. Okay, so let's march it out. And then we're going to go back into that intentional marching with while we're pumping our arms. This time through, if you feel like you can give it a little bit more, you can go ahead and step it out a little quicker. Maybe lift your knees a little higher. So different ways to increase the intensity of the exercise. Either way is fine. So you do what feels the best to you. 5 seconds to go. Excellent. Okay, and then our next exercise, we can just step this out. We're going to go into the sumo squat position. So we'll have a wide stance. Feet are slightly turned out. We'll go in 3, 2, 1. And this time we spend a little bit more time down. So we're going to do just pulses. So instead of coming all the way up, we're going to stay down and just pulse for 20 more seconds. And again, we tighten up those muscles, even squeeze our glutes. We're going to feel that burn. Doesn't take long. We have 5 seconds to go. Good. Last one. All right, we'll march that out. And then we're going to do our step togethers, where we step wide and then bring that other foot in. 2 seconds. Wide. Good. If you want to, you do just a little leap in between. These can also be small. Again, totally up to you. Involve your arms or not. There, we have 5 seconds to go. Excellent. All right, we'll just march it out and then we're going to do our calf raises next. start those in 3 seconds. You're gonna go up, lower down slowly. Good. Five more seconds. Excellent. All right, step it out, and then we're gonna go over to the wall to do small push-ups again. That's our next one. Lower slowly in with control. And that's our last one. And then our last exercise is going to be the row, or I'm sorry, the pull down. So we're going to take our hands above our head and we're going to pull down slowly. Okay. All right, here we go. And feel free, like I said, to keep the feet in motion if you'd like to just have a little bit more activity. So stepping out while you're doing that pull down. Good. So we really want to flex and tense those muscles. We're using our lats, which are big muscles in our back, and then our bicep muscles also help out with this exercise. Good. All right. I think we're going to move on to our next round of exercises. And so we're going to start with step jacks. So like a jumping jack, just a low impact version. So we step out, come back to center. And if your shoulders don't allow you to go all the way overhead, you can simply go to whatever height is comfortable for your shoulders, okay? Oh, and you're also welcome to do jumping jacks if that is within your exercise capabilities. Never want to stop anybody from jumping. All right, so we'll march that out, and then we're gonna do some cross connects. And again, I'll just give you a little preview. We're gonna lift our leg and then touch with our opposite hand, arm, or elbow. So it can be here. If you have a little bit more mobility and you want to touch your forearm to your quad, you can do that. Or even your elbow to the quad. Legs continue to come forward and the torso might twist a little bit, but we don't want to twist our lower body. 5 more seconds. 2, 1. Excellent. All right, just march that out. And then our next exercise is going to be bicep curls. So if you do have weights, you can grab those. I'm just going to flex my fists, and I'm going to march through this exercise. We're going to curl and release. Curl and release. We want to keep our elbows pointed to the floor. When we're doing bicep curls, so our arm isn't going to swing up, it's going to stay right at our side. And if you don't have hand weights, you're just going to imagine that resistance. So something is pushing your arm down while you're trying to pull it up. Excellent. All right, we're going to just march that out. And then our next exercise is going to be tricep press backs. Okay, so we can march a little bit, light hand weights are good here. We're going to flex our hands, tighten up the back of the arm. I'm just going to do little lifts. This is a small movement. So not big at all. I'm going to extend the arms behind us and then just do little pulses. Little pulse up and up. Trying to flex that muscle in the back of the arm. Looking good. We have 5 seconds to go. Good. All right, so we can march it out, and then we're going to do our knee drives after that. And so just a little refresher, if you're in a kind of lunge position, we're just going to bring that back leg forward while we support ourselves on the left leg. So the right leg is just pumping through. You can do whatever feels comfortable with your arms, like a kind of a running motion with your arms, or both arms can come up front and you can row them in. And just keep a tiny little knee bend in that supporting leg. 5 more seconds, then we'll hit the other side. 2, 1, and 10. Good. All right, 15 seconds to march. How are you doing, Janice? Good. I'm like talking to a big audience. I know we have just thousands of followers.
Exactly.
Don't you think? All right, 30 seconds, 2, 1, and here we go. Good. I know Carol's going to be watching this later, so I hope her plumbing issues worked out okay.
Yes.
Supporting leg is a soft knee. 3 seconds, 2, 1, excellent. We'll march that out. And we're going to do our ground zero jumps. And so I'm going to show you from the side. We're going to hinge, throw our arms to the back, and then come up to standing. And we're going to squeeze our glutes and our belly at the top. Okay, good. So this is an aerobic move. Ten more seconds. 3, 2, and last one. Good. All right. We're going to go back to our step jacks. You doing okay so far?
Mm-hmm.
Good. All right. So we're going to start our step jacks in 5 seconds. Out. Ten more seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right, so our next step, then we're going to do 2 arm exercises. We're going to do our bicep curls and then our tricep extensions. We go in 5 seconds. For those, I'm just going to continue to march and curl. Nice. So great alternative to hand weights if you don't have any at home. We'll be grabbing even just cans of vegetables or water bottles for this exercise. And if you have a resistance band at home, you can also stand on your resistance band and grab the ends of it and use that for some additional resistance for that exercise. All right, that's time. We are in our rest period, and then we're going to go to our tricep kickbacks. In 3, 2, 1. And one time we did this exercise with a towel. When we were gripping a towel, pulling it apart, and then doing our lifts. So that's another option here. Just lift, tiny little lifts, little pulses for 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Good job. All right, so we'll march this out for 15 seconds. And we're going to do our ground zero jumps. Then we're going to go through that rotation one more time. 3, 2, 1. So hinge back. Spin your arms back and then overhead. You'll try to feel your core engaged at the top. By pulling that belly button in and squeezing your glutes. Right, wonderful. We're going to do one more round and then we'll take a quick little minute for some water and then we'll hit our next set of exercises. All right, so step stacks are first. And then out. Yeah, together to the middle. Out. And out. 10 more seconds. Good. 3, 2, last one. Excellent job. And then we're going to do our cross connects. I think I skipped those. Did I do cross connects last time? I skipped them. All right. So we'll just march this out. And we're going 3, 2, 1. And we'll just make contact with our opposite arm and opposite leg. And we're going to stay standing up nice and tall. It helps us engage our core. When you feel this in your lower abdominals, you're lifting your leg. 2 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're into bicep curls next game. So grab your weights. Feel free to march it out or take a seat. 3, 2, 1. All right, curl and release. Curl. Sometimes people ask me what is an appropriate weight for bicep curls. And so if the doctor hasn't advised you about not lifting, a certain amount, usually 8 to 10 pounds is pretty good, or something that you might want to work up to. You know that you can do more if you can continue to do 15 repetitions and then feel like that's time. So we'll march this out before we go to triceps. But if you can continue to do 15 repetitions, you might want to try a slightly heavier weight and then do fewer repetitions so you can get up to 15 again. All right, gang, let's do our tricep lifts here. Good. So if we're lifting to the back and we don't have weights, we can just imagine something trying to push our arms down while we're lifting. 10 more seconds. Good. 3, 2, 1. All right, we have one more set of those ground zero jumps. Okay, that'll be our last set of those today. And we're going to do those in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Just a reminder, if anybody does not have that mobility in their arms to go overhead, then you just bring your fists to your shoulders as you stand. You don't get to get out of the exercise. All right, that's time. Well done. All right, grab some water. I'm just going to reset our clock here. And then I think we're going to take it to the floor for our next set. And so I will talk about seated modifications. The first exercise that we're going to do lying down is we'll first do an ab exercise. I'm just going to turn to the side. You're going to pretend that you have a ball sitting right on your belly button, and we're simply going to draw our belly button down to the floor. Imagine it kind of sucking that ball in, and then we'll release. So, are you all set, Janice? We'll go ahead and get started, and obviously if you're at home and you needed a water break, you can pause. So we're going to imagine that ball on our belly. Let's go ahead and just suck that in. And then release. And a nice long exhale really helps to pull that belly down in. And this exercise can be done seated. So we just sit up tall in a chair and simply draw that belly button in. Good. Let's do 2 more. 2. Good. And then we're going to extend our right leg. We're just going to let it hover right above the floor. Your toe is going to be your toe will be pulled towards you, so your foot is flexed. And then we're going to lift, not quite to 90, and then we're going to lower. So you got 10 times. And then if you're in a chair, you're going to do a similar thing where you just extend one leg. I'll show you that. You should keep counting, Janice. So if we're in a chair, we're at the end of the chair, sitting up tall, doing the lift to the floor. We're just going to engage the quad, but it's also the lower abdominals. How are we doing, Janice?
That's 12.
12. Okay, let's go ahead and switch out to the sides. So we'll have our right leg bent and the left leg is going to come up and go. Sure, we're going to flex that foot. Be very intentional about that lift. You can put your hands on your lower abs and see if you can feel those lower abs contract as you lift the leg. So we're not using momentum to lift it. We're going to use those abdominals. Good. How are we doing on our count, Janice?
12.
12 is good. All right. And then let's go ahead and we're going to keep both feet flat on the floor right now. And then we're going to move into a glute bridge. So we're going to lift our glutes up off the floor, squeeze. Try to maintain that squeeze in the glutes as you lower them down. And then lift again. And we'll do 15 of these. And then if you're in a seated position, you're going to do the same exercise without lifting your hips. You're just going to squeeze your glutes together for 15 times. This exercise is so good, obviously for our glute muscles, but also for the low back. Good. Janice, are you counting for me?
This is 11.
Good.
14.
Last one. Good. All right, we're going to do an exercise on our belly. And what we're going to do, I'm going to show you the standing modification for this. So we're going to lay on our belly with our arms extended. And we're going to lift opposites. It's a low back exercise. If anybody has any low back issues and this is not comfortable, you won't do the exercise. And I'm going to show you the standing version. But we're here and we're going to lift opposites. Okay. And it's not about how high you lift. So don't worry about lifting your leg too high or your arm. We're going to just do the opposites. And then if we're standing, we're going to do basically the same thing, just in the standing version. Just a slight kickback. Slight kickback. And again, if this does not feel good in the low back area, if any discomfort, then I'm just going to actually have you do a march over the chair. Okay. Good. And then Janice, just do one more each side. Perfect. All right. We're going to go back to the first exercise we did lying down on our back. So we're going to switch over to the other side. And we're going to start with the exercise where we just pull that belly button down and in. Okay, we'll do 5 repetitions of that. So nice long exhale, pulling that belly in. Release. And go ahead. Nice long exhale, pull that in. 2. Exhale. 3. And draw it in. And 1 more. Good. All right. And then we're going to go into the leg lift exercise. So your left knee is bent, the right leg is extended, foot is flexed, and we're gonna lift almost to 90. And if you want to try to get a little bit more upper abdominal engagement, you're welcome to try and just lift your head off the floor as you lift your leg, head and shoulders up off the floor. So if you don't, we don't want you to have any neck pain or neck discomfort when you do this. Your head should just like heavy in your hands. It's totally optional. How are we doing on our count, Janice?
Got 8.
We're going to stop at 12 and switch. That's our last one. Good. So extend your opposite leg and go ahead and lift when you're ready. And then you can leave your torso down the entire time. You don't have to lift. Are we at 11? And 12. Good. All right. Our next exercise is going to be 15 glute bridges. Okay. So when you're ready, lift and squeeze. And lower. And just think about the muscles that are doing your lifting. Make sure they feel nice and tight. A little extra squeeze at the top. I'm doing Janice with our
12.
12,
Mhm.
2, 14, last one. Good. All right. So go to our belly. Extend our knees, and then we're going to lift out 6. We'll do a total of 10. So you can hit 5 each side. Eight, 9, and 10. All right, and let's come to our hands and knees. And there was one last little challenge here. So I'm on our hands and knees. I want you, if you're down on the floor, I want you just to lift your knees off the floor, just a tiny little bit, about an inch, and hold it for 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down gently. And go ahead and lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. So if you're on your hands and knees, I want you to do that 3 more times. And then if you're not able to be down on the floor, we can do that if you have a chair that's very stable and against the wall. Okay. We can also do a similar exercise where we just hold on, and again, we're tucking our belly in nice and tight, and then just release. And we're almost doing the exercise where we're drawing our belly button into our spine. It's the same kind of an idea. All right. And then we'll come back up to standing, and we're going to do some additional leg work. Legs and shoulders to finish. We're not going yet, but we're going to do some standing leg lifts. So make sure you have something for yourself for balance if you need it. Go ahead and start with the left leg and lower. And our supporting leg is going to just have a slight knee bend, soft knees, and you're going to back up nice and tall. So don't lean forward or back as you're doing the lift. And then we're going to switch sides. So we'll stand on the left leg, put your right leg forward, flex that foot, engage the quads. So we just want to make that leg as tight as possible. We'll start our lift in 2 seconds, and we'll lift. Good, and we're gonna lower with control so that that heel does not smack the floor. Good. Over. So this exercise works our quadriceps, our hip flexors. It kind of targets the muscles in front of the leg. But the standing leg, the glutes and hamstrings are working. And now we're going to target those muscles a little bit more. So we're going to put our support in front of us. We're going to take our right leg to the back. And we'll just do small lifts backwards. And we're still going to flex that foot, which is going to make it a little harder to do the lift. So if my foot is relaxed, I can kind of keep it a little higher, but it's not about how high we go. So if you lift that leg back, I want you to feel your glute muscles. You can put your hand on your tush. Just feel those glute muscles squeezing, contracting as you lift. If you're getting any sort of a cramp, go ahead and just shake out your leg. 3, 2, 1. Excellent. We're going to switch sides. So my supporting leg is my right leg. My left leg is flexed. My toes pulled up just a little bit. And then ground lift. Just lift, we don't want to arch our back. So really concentrate on how tall you are. You feel it a lot in your low back, and actually going to just have you tilt your pelvis forward a little bit. And again, that limits our range of motion, but it really targets the muscle that we're looking for. 10 more seconds. Good. Okay, we're going to do some arm raises now. So you're welcome to grab your light weights. You are welcome to do these in a standing position. But if you're up for a little challenge, we're going to go back into our sumo squat. Okay, just a mini, but I'm going to go all the way down. And then we'll have our hands in front, and we're just going to look to the side.
Deltoids.
Huh?
Deltoid raises.
Deltoid, right, exactly. Yes. And so in staying in a semi-squat position, it just involves the legs a little bit more. We're going to continue to use our quadriceps and our hamstrings and our glutes. But definitely not required. 3 seconds. Good. Come up out of that and just march or just relax for 15 seconds. And then we have some punches next. So you can do these in a seated position. Are you going to sit with the punches, Candace?
Yes.
You sit, I'll do the standing.
Okay.
And then we're just going to punch out in front of us. Okay, your shoulders are relaxed and nothing hunched up. And then you can punch down, punch to the middle again, and then can punch overhead as well. Good. If you're standing, I want you to keep your core engaged, the belly button drop in, tighten up those leg muscles. Good. Excellent. All right. So we're going to just stand up and do just a little march, an arm swing or pump, whatever you want. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's just march it out. We'll get that heart rate up a little bit again. And then we're going to go around one more time through those leg exercises, our arm lifts, and our punches. Out. 5 more seconds. Good. All right. So we're going to go back to our straight leg raises. You're also welcome to do these seated if you want to, just depending on how you're feeling today. I'm going to stand on my right leg first, and my left leg is going to lift. Good. And just make sure you're looking forward. Pull that chin back just a little bit. Really helps to keep your head in alignment. Lots of control here with our lift, lower, lift, lower. Good job. We have 5 more seconds. Good. Last one. We'll switch sides. Go ahead and flex that right foot. Your supporting leg has just a soft and actually get started with some lifts. We can go ahead of the timer here. Good. Anytime we're doing these standing still exercises, it's a great opportunity to think about those core muscles, which are working to keep you upright. But when we bring some intentionality to them, sometimes we just engage them just a little bit further. 10 more seconds. And then we're going to go and work the back of the leg. It's 3, 2, last one. Excellent job. Shake those legs out. I'm just going to move here to the front of me. And then just a little preview here. We're just going to kick that leg back. Again, small movement. Very small control and intentional. My right leg is supporting me and my left leg is doing the lifting at this moment. Feel free to just challenge yourself by lifting your hand across your support. Just know that it's there if you need it. It's there. 3 more seconds. Shake that leg out. We'll do a little stretching after we're done with this round. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Doing great. All right, let's go ahead and start that lift. We'll hear the timer go, but it's all right. I'm just going to give my little water commercial right now. I know that you all know in the heat that we have to drink lots of water, but even if we're inside, it's really important to stay super hydrated in these crazy temperatures. 3 seconds. Good. And we can just march it out for a second. And then we're going to do our lateral raises. Janice, do you ever flavor your water with fruit or herbs?
Not really.
No.
I'm just pure water.
Yeah, just pure water.
I love water.
Yeah. And so if you're somebody who needs a little something in their water, just experimenting with mint leaves, mint and cucumber together is really good. Putting some berries, if you have some leftover, some fruit, you can smush up some berries a little bit and drop them in your water. And it just really is such a nice little kind of splash of color, really. And splash of flavor, so sorry. Last one, good. All right, just keep marching. And then we're going to do our punches. So seated or standing. Kind of make water seem a little more interesting. And then obviously lemon and lime, fantastic. So I like to sometimes just squeeze half a lemon in our water, even just at room temperature. It just makes it more interesting. You know, grip the punch down in the middle and then overhead as well. Good. All right. And then we're going to just finish with 30 seconds of a quick march. Doesn't have to necessarily be fast. If you prefer a higher lift, you can do a higher lift, or you can just do it for speed. All right. This is our last little burst here for 30 seconds, and then we'll do some stretching before we finish. Going. We have 5 seconds. 3, 2, last one. Excellent job. All right, we'll do some stretches in a standing position to begin with. And we're going to take our feet about a little wider than hip width apart, almost like when we did our sumo squat. Oh, so sorry. Shut that guy off. Okay. And then I'm going to put my left hand on the left hip. I'm just going to take my palm, my right palm. It's facing the ceiling. I'm just going to come over. My shoulders are relaxed. I'm just going to get a nice stretch all the way down to my side. And just, you really want to make sure that you're just leaning to the side, that you're not twisting forward and you're not leaning back. So again, you need to kind of tuck your pelvis a little bit as you're doing that reach. It really helps the low back. And I'm just going to release slowly out of that. And let's do the other side. Right hand in the hip, left palm reaches up. And just release that slowly. One more each side. Swing that right arm up and over. Maybe increase that stretch a little bit if you can this time. Left side. All right, and now we're going to put your hand on your quads, and this one should slide down. Your knees are bent here, and we're just gonna, you don't have to have a flat back, we're just gonna end up in a ragdoll pose, which is opposing yoga. If you're not familiar with it, we're just hanging loose here. You can, your feet can be as wide as you want them to be. I just want you to move your arms a little bit. Let your head feel like it's kind of hanging heavy. Release any tension in your shoulders. You can nod your head yes. You can no. Right, start to feel this in the back of the legs a little bit in your hamstrings. Just gonna roll up slowly. You don't want to come too fast out of this one. You just want to make sure that the leg has a chance to go to our heads. Okay, we're gonna go into a stretch for the back of the leg. And this can also be done seated, but we're going to extend your right leg straight, and the foot is flexed. I have a little bit of a bend in my supporting leg, okay? And then I'm going to put my hands on my left quad, and I'm just going to lean in. So this time my back is flat. I'm not rounded. I have a nice flat back, and that really helps me to feel that stretch in the right hamstring. Having the foot flexed really helps that too. You stand there, Janice, 5 more seconds, and then I'm going to show it seated. Here in this position, and let's switch to the other side. So stand on your right leg, left leg is extended with a flexed foot, and then we'll stand on lean and flat back. And you will, yes, hands will be on your supporting leg, not the leg that you're stretching. We will come out of that and either seated or standing, or clasp your hands behind your back. And we're just going to lift up. This is going to give you a nice stretch through the pectorals. And bring the shoulder blades together, down a little bit. Want to as high as comfortable. Good. And you'll release your hands. Bring your right arm in front of your body. Left arm comes underneath, just to stretch that shoulder. Look tight to your body. Feels good. Slowly release that. And then my left arm comes across. My right arm comes underneath. Smooth that upper arm to my body to really nice stretch. And all right, we'll release that and we'll be done. So thank you so much. Thank you, Janice, for being here. Company today. That was fun. It was fun.
Felt good.